funding and support for SME innovators in the GBSLEP area. I work for the Greater Birmingham Solihull Growth Hub, who are a public funded body that provide business support, and we're also joined by Laura Cole from Aston University and Paul Storer from the Intellectual Properties Office. Just start with a short presentation from my good self about the Growth Hub. As my colleague Ellie said, if you have any questions at all, just please free to put them into the chat function, and at the end of each presentation we'll allow time for us to be able to field responses to those questions as they come through. Okay. Excellent. So, as mentioned, I work for the Greater Birmingham Solihull Growth Hub. We're a free publicly funded business support service in your local area, and our job is to find the right support for your business. We cover a rather interesting footprint. We cover Birmingham and Solihull and 3 areas of North Worcestershire, which are Wye Forest, Bromsgrove and Redditch, and also 4 areas of the southern Staffordshire area, which are Cannock Chase, Tamworth, Lichfield and East Staffordshire. Our team is made up of a selection of experienced SPEDI accredited business advisors who offer advice and guidance to businesses, and we also have a selection of specialist account managers who provide in-depth support on particular specialisms, which I will come on to later in the presentation. Accessing our support, as mentioned, we are free to use public service. We work with over 280 partner organisations across Greater Birmingham and through the rest of the country, and we use our experience and skills to understand your business challenges and provide solutions to your problems. Our expertise covers a wide range of subjects, including access to finance, grant availability, business strategy and financial controls, marketing and sales techniques, benchmarking, international standards, and rather topical for today, intellectual property, skills and recruitment, and many other facets. And also, please see we have a picture of one of our clients who we helped support get funding for his business through the COVID Business Recovery Fund that was released last year. As mentioned, I am a business advisor, and I look after a team of 6 business advisors who support basically any business that's been trading for at least 6 months. And we also have a selection of sector specialists who work within our organisation that we can refer you to that cover a variety of topics such as funding and finance, social enterprise, manufacturing, food and drink, low carbon, creative, and a host of other sector specialisms. We also have a very new department that was formed in November last year, which is our Skills Hub, which is a national pilot that we're very lucky to run here in Birmingham. That again is another sort of publicly funded, free to use service that provides businesses in the local area with strategic advice how to implement and navigate the government's skills support tools. So you will have all heard about apprenticeships and kickstarts, maybe also T-levels and interns, knowledge-based transfers. The Skills Hub is there to really navigate you through and sort of explain this in layman's terms and allow businesses to make the right judgment call that fits their own needs. As you're probably aware, each particular one of these programs comes with its own eligibility of where you can hire people from, the length of time, the contracts, the levels of pay, and probably most important to businesses at the moment, the amount of grants that you can receive as an employer for taking those people on. It fluctuates, so they're there to make that as easy as possible for you. Thank you very much for listening to my part today, and if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Looks like I might have escaped without a question, which is very good. And also, if there are any questions, we will have a section at the end where we will field any questions that we didn't manage to pick up through the rest of the event. I'd like to introduce Laura Cole from Aston University. Are you there, Laura?
I am. Hello. I'm just going to share my screen, so bear with me a second. Can you see that now, my presentation?
I can, yes, Laura. I'll
just Perfect. Well, that's great.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, thank you very much for the introduction, Ben. And as he says, I am project manager of the Innovation Vouchers programme. Before we get started on my bit of the webinar, you can see my contact details on the screen at the moment. And if you would like any more information on the Innovation Vouchers programme, you can contact me using the form on our website or by using or by email, which is l.cole@aston.ac.uk. So if you're taking part in the webinar, you'll probably want to know, what is the Innovation Vouchers project? So we are a business support project funded by the European Regional Development Fund. We offer support for small and medium-sized local businesses to grow their business through financial and non-financial support. The project is managed primarily by Aston Business School, but with support from Birmingham City University as well, so you're getting expertise from both sets of universities. The project team consists primarily of myself and a project coordinator called Alex. So if you get in touch with us, you will be speaking to either Alex or myself directly. We don't have a really big project team, so your query won't get lost there. The current phase of the programme has been running since 2019, and we've currently supported over 100 businesses. This phase of the project is coming to an end in early 2022. So if you would like to inquire about business support from the programme, it is very much your last chance at the moment. The support offered by Innovation Vouchers is totally free of charge for eligible businesses, which means there's no cost for anything I discussed in this presentation today. So talking about the support there, what can we offer your business? So we offer two different levels of support. There's the innovation workshops and then the grant funding. The innovation workshops is the first thing I'm going to talk about very quickly. These are a series of 3 in-person workshops. The next series is taking place next month over 3 weeks from the 3rd to the 17th of November. These are all-day workshops from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30, and then there's free lunch provided as well as drinks. The first 2 workshops are held at Millennium Point and the third at Birmingham City University's East Side rooms, so they're both near the Curzon Street area. The workshops are hosted by leading academics and professors from both Aston Business School and Birmingham City Business School, including Pavan Budwa, who's head of Aston Business School, and Nick Theodorakopoulos, who's head of the Innovation Vouchers project. The workshops are on 3 key areas for innovation within your business. The first is on envisioning growth, the second on leadership and strategy, and the third on marketing. Again, these workshops are free to attend and can give you the skills to grow your business, gain connections with both academics and with the other attendees. In addition, you get to meet myself and Alex. So if you wanted to have a chat with us about grant application during the break time or over lunch, then we're happy to discuss that with you. So moving on to the main part of this webinar, we're going to talk about the innovation vouchers themselves. So as I said previously, we offer grants, and these grants are in the form of £2,500. We did have grants for £1,500 as well, but these have run out because we are coming to the end of the project now. These grants can be used to hire external experts, which in practice tends to mean people like consultants, manufacturers, or software developers. These consultants can be private businesses, and there was a misconception that with innovation vouchers they had to be academically linked, and that isn't the case at all at the moment. These external suppliers should be supporting your business to create new products, new services, or new internal processes. So internal processes can confuse a few people, but that tends to mean things like strategy development to enter new markets, development of bespoke new CRMs for use internally, consultancy to get your business ISO ready, or consultancy to digitize your business. So it's quite a wide range of things that we can support. These are grants, so they don't have to be paid back, no equity is taken from your business. So if you would like a grant, you want to know if you have an eligible project. The grants are pound for pound match funded by your business. So for a grant of £2,500, your business would also need to put in £2,500, which means that the minimum project value should be £5,000, excluding VAT if your business is VAT registered. The project you'd like to apply for cannot have started yet and must be complete within 3 months of having your application approved. This includes having the project complete and you paying the supplier. The aim of the grants is to encourage local SMEs to innovate and grow with the help of industry experts. So moving on to the types of projects we've supported previously, they're very varied and include bespoke software development, consultancies enter new sectors, prototyping of packaging, initial product run of food packaging or food stuffs, consultancy to get your business ready for ISO certification. I mean, in essence, it's most activities that can support your business in creating new products, services, or internal processes. As with all ERDF projects, there's also ineligible activities. So there's things that we can't support at all. These can be things like legal fees, travel, marketing, and you can find a full list of these on our website, including the eligible and ineligible activities. So if you think you might have an eligible project, we need to check if your business is eligible. So first, you must have a registered or trading address in one of the following areas. That's Birmingham, Solihull, Redditch, Bromsgrove, or the Ware Forest. Your business must be defined as an SME, as by the European Commission's definition. So this is a business which has fewer than 250 members of staff, and a turnover of less than 50 million euros or a balance sheet of less than 43 million euros. Your business must meet our de minimis requirements, so you can't have received over 200,000 euros of state aid support over the past 3-year period, and your business must be working in an eligible sector. There's a full list available on our website, but most businesses trading on a B2B basis will be eligible for the programme. Finally, your business must be a suitable type. Again, the full list is available on our website, but to run through a few, these are startups, limited companies, self-employed sole traders, partnerships or limited liability partnerships, CICs. There's a wide range of them as well. So if you're unsure, feel free to get in touch with us and we can offer support there. So if you are eligible for a grant, I'm sure you want to know how to apply. So it's a simple application process, and either Alex or myself will be able to work with you to get your application to the stage of final submission. So first you'll need to complete the Innovation Vouchers application form. This is available from our website, or you can email me at l.cole@aston.ac.uk for a copy. You'll collect your procurement, which is quite a fancy word, but it just means for us 3 quotations from different suppliers for the same work. Once you have all these documents, you'll need to send them all to us by email. So you can send it to me directly or to the team at innovation-vouchers@aston.ac.uk. Your application form would then be assessed by the Innovation Vouchers team. If it's approved, then your project must be complete within 3 months. When you've completed your project and paid the supplier, you'll send this evidence to us and the team. We'll look over it, make sure that everything's above board, and then we'll organise the payment of your innovation voucher as a reimbursement to your business bank account. And that's all there is to it. If you wanted to have an informal chat about whether your business or project is eligible for the programme, you can do that contacting us by email. And as over 80% of the grants are now been allocated, I suggest you do this as soon as possible. And just to be clear as well, unlike some of the business support programmes, you don't have to have attended the workshops to apply for a grant. They're totally separate activities, so you can come to the workshops without applying for a grant or apply for a grant without having attended any of the workshops. So if you still need a reason to get involved with the programme or to apply, here's some reasons why you should work with us. Innovation Vouchers has been running since 2013 through many different phases of the project. During this time, we've supported over 350 businesses who have received a grant, attended a workshop, or done both. From evaluating the growth of these businesses, the Innovation Vouchers has created over 600 full-time jobs in the area and provided nearly £15 million in gross value added to regional businesses. And this doesn't include the current series, which has been going on since 2019, so we expect that to be much increased in the next project evaluation. The business support is totally free, and so there's no risk to yourselves or your business by getting in touch with us. And then after that, I'm sure you're all very interested in talking to the Innovation Vouchers team. I just want to emphasise we're a quite small, friendly team. We're happy to answer any questions on the topic. Unless there's a factor that means your business or project is definitely ineligible, we're always going to work with you to put an application together. I mean, it's in our interest to get the grants out as well. That's what we want to do. So we're not trying to trick you or work out if there's anything wrong in your application form. We're always willing to help you to get that to the stage for submission for us. If you are interested in applying for a grant or attending a workshop, you can get in touch with me. You can see my contact email address on the screen now. You can also reach the team by filling in the contact form on our website, and we'll organise a call back to you, or by giving us a call on 0121 204 3162. We're still doing a mixture of working from home or working in the office, so if you reach our voicemail and leave us a message, and we'll organise to give you a call back the same day. We're happy to answer any questions that you have on the project. Support from the Innovation Vouchers programme is free if your business is eligible. So if you did want to speak to us, check whether your project and business are eligible before you complete an application form. That's totally fine as well. We're happy to get to talk you through that. And if we're not suitable for you, we can usually point you in the right direction of business support that is. So feel free to get in touch with us again. If you have been interested in the Innovation Vouchers programme and you've been putting it off for whatever reason, I suggest that you get in touch with us now. We're on the final phase of the programme and we're expecting all grants to be given out by the end of this calendar year. So unless you submit an application form, you're very likely to miss out unless you do that in the next couple of months. Before I go, I also wanted to let you know about another business support project at Aston University that's called the Diverse Supply Chains Project. This is an ERDF funded project again to support diverse and minority-owned businesses to enter the supply chains of national organisations. The project is currently recruiting for their next phase, and you can find information on their website, which is on the screen now. The deadline for applications for diverse supply chains is the 29th of October 2021. They have a very similar criteria for the Innovation Vouchers programme. However, they can support a wider geographical area, so they can support businesses in Cannock Chase, Lichfield, Tamworth and East Staffordshire. They offer a workshop programme with speakers including Balfour Beatty Vinci and Birmingham City Council. And if you attend their workshop series, you can apply for a grant of £2,500 to support your business's tendering capabilities. If you're interested in either the Innovation Vouchers project or the Diverse Supply Chains project, you can get in touch with me and I can introduce you to their project team. So that's me all done. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those.
Thank you for that, Laura. That was a really good presentation. And, the Growth Hub has found the Aston Innovation Vouchers programme one of the best partner sort of offers that we've had, and it's been something that we've been very keen in providing referrals to. So thank you for that, Laura. That was really interesting. And the Device Supply Chains project as well. Again, that's another one that we work with closely. So fantastic. If there are any questions for Laura or about any of the programs mentioned, by all means, please put a comment in now, or again, there'll be another opportunity later on.
One thing I should mention is we don't have a set deadline for the programme. We've got a suggested deadline of the 15th of November, and that's for us to look over your application in time for the end of this year, when we expect that all the grants will have run out. But I think it's just at the moment, if you can get in touch with us as soon as possible, the sooner you get in touch with us, the more likely you are to get a grant. So it's really up to yourselves, really. There's several ways to contact us. So on our website or by email are usually the best, or you can give us a phone call and either Alex or myself will give you a call back.
Excellent. So apply now to avoid disappointment.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Laura. No questions at this point. So Paul, would you be able to start your presentation?
Yep. Hi, Ben. I'm here.
Excellent, Paul. I'll get my face out of the way. Over to you, sir.
Okie dokie. Good morning, everyone. My name's Paul Storer. I'm the West Midlands Policy Advisor and work closely with the growth hubs across the region, including the Greater Birmingham and Solihull Growth Hub. So I put my camera on initially so you can see my ugly mug. I'm going to share my screen with you now. So I'm going to turn my camera off momentarily just to make sure I don't lose bandwidth and so on, and then I can say a little bit more about what I'm going to speak about today. So camera off, and let's see how this goes now. Sharing screen. Ben, can you see that?
Yes, Paul.
Good stuff. That's great news. So I'm picking up on the great work that Aston are doing in terms of vouchers to help businesses innovate. What I'm going to speak about is taking those assets that are being generated and helping you to grow your business through those assets. So it's very clear whether you're taking advantage of the scheme or not, and certainly there are a lot of activities on that scheme which mean that businesses are generating intellectual property assets, but whether you're on that scheme or not, if you are innovating, you will be generating and creating new assets, and they will be incredibly important and valuable to you and to your business. So recognizing, managing and protecting and managing those will help you to make the most of them, ensure that the business can grow. I'm going to talk about some of the early risks so that you'll be in a position to take opportunities later on. So I'm going to whiz through setting the business on firm IP foundations. Next week, I should say, at the same time, the Growth Hub will build on that by hosting another webinar which focuses on more best practice around your intellectual assets and highlights the support the Growth Hub can provide to help you with that. So lastly, just to mention that all the support I talk about today, I'll highlight today, is entirely free to you, and as will the sort of stuff you can access next week. So moving on, setting firm foundations, and the three things here are setting firm IP foundations, best IP practice, and strategic IP direction. So it really doesn't matter what stage of the business you're at. Those those sort of things have to develop to ensure that those assets are capitalized on. How to set firm foundations. So we're talking about testing your idea, and that's really important in terms of completing your business intelligence, securing the innovation itself. So this is when you're having discussions with third parties, as Laura's scheme talked about, collaborating with third parties, and lastly, strengthening the shop window. So that's around website and marketing collateral and brand protection. I'm going to pick up on all three of those. So all of them will be important and also time critical, whether you're a startup, or even a more established business. And the consequence of not acting on these can be quite costly. Hence my being here today to help you try and avoid any of those pitfalls. So let's take number one. Let's take A, testing the idea. So if you're developing a new product or service, if you're innovating, searching the IP rights databases. So we're talking about the IPO's design database. These are registered designs in the UK and globally, the patents database, and the trademarks database. And the key here is that searching those databases will complete your business intelligence, your understanding of your market and your competitors. They will give valuable insights into those, and very up-to-date data as well. So and on top of that, it will also help you to check your USP if you're developing a new product. So really is the product really unique to the market? So even if your idea or your process or what you're doing can't be protected through designs or patents, all businesses really need to check the trademark register to understand who has similar or the same brand names operating in the business field, who's applying for similar or the same brand names in your space, so that you can keep an eye on that, or even in some cases oppose their registration. In terms of getting that IP access to that IP searching, the Business and IP Centre, BIPC in Birmingham Library, will assist you with free guided searching of all those databases, and they also have a significant number of other comprehensive business databases which will bring more business intelligence for you. And lastly, in this space, this shouldn't be a one-off process. So you should really be routinely, as I mentioned, there will be new people coming into your markets, and you should routinely be examining them on a regular basis to keep abreast of the market, especially when you're planning a new product or service, and in particular when you're looking to go abroad with sales of that. And on top of that, you can also access free of charge all the IP rights databases which the IPO holds on their website. I've provided a link there. There's a video there on the support, and when you get the slides, all the links that I've put on the slides, you will be able to get more information and get access through those. So the second step I'm going to talk about is around securing your innovation. And you want to do, as you develop your idea and you develop your innovation, you want to ensure it's just your business which can grow through it and not someone else, not another business. So best practice is not to discuss the idea, the innovation, the product with anyone outside the business unless the discussion is covered by a non-disclosure agreement, or NDAs as they're called. And this could be discussing the idea with someone developing a prototype for you, someone you are seeking finance from, or another business or research research body you want to collaborate with. And this will help to ensure that others can't take your idea without your permission. If you go on our website and you'll see that is highlighted, that's an active link. If you go on our website, you'll see that we've got free NDA templates for you to use. On top of that, if you're working with another business or university to develop your idea, then you will want that relationship and collaboration to be successful. And the IPO business to business collaboration toolkit will help you to define that relationship, to understand what IP you are taking to the table, and importantly, how the new or foreground IP will be used and shared between the parties. And then the contract can benefit all parties. That clarity can benefit all parties. And if you're looking to collaborate with a university, our Lambert toolkit will help with sort of cement that relationship. At a certain point, and I will say, sorry, I was going to say this link here is around you accessing the business to business collaboration toolkit and the Lambert toolkits. So and at some point, hopefully, you'll need to think about protecting the innovation so that it puts you in a position to be able to exploit it and grow the business. And what the nature of that protection needs to be right for the business. So it may involve seeking registered rights like patents, but equally could be to use trade secrets, and there are ways of doing that effectively, or a combination of the different protections available. And if you go on, same on this link here, if you go on that platform, you will find the IP Equip toolkit, which will help you to understand which assets can be protected and in what ways they can be protected. And I've also put a little video in there for you to take a look at a little bit more about IP rights in conjunction with the IP Equip tool. So the last point I'm going to make in this space is around strengthening the shop window. And your brand is probably your most key asset, and it's the means by which you attract your customers. So it's crucial then to ensure that no one can piggyback on the time, the effort, and the money you invest in building your brand. So a couple of things here that you may not realize. Firstly, you should ensure that your web content and other marketing collateral is owned by your business. If you ask a third party, another company, to create them, then they will own those materials, not you. They're protected by copyright, and the default position is that the creator first owns the copyright. That's not the commissioner, that's not you. If you've asked a third party, they will own that. And worryingly, this also stretches to your business logo. So if you've got somebody else to create your business logo, they will own that logo. If you or one of your employees created it, then it will belong to the business. But the question is, did you use someone else to do that? If it was a third party, then you'll probably want them to give you ownership. And the means of doing that is for them to assign the ownership to you in writing. And on our website, there's some advice on how to go about doing that. So lastly, here, I just want to mention brand protection through registered trademarks. And right at the very beginning, best practice is to consider the company name, the domain name, and the trademark registration right at the outset, and consider all three in conjunction. Sadly, I'm coming across a lot of businesses, or too many businesses, that, well, this is not the sad bit. I am coming across many businesses that have ambition to grow, and are realizing that brand protection is key to that, particularly for trading abroad. That's great news, but the actual sad bit is that too many are having problems. For instance, I came across a business lately who had registered a name at Company House, which is descriptive, and they've been trading in that name, but a descriptive name is not allowed as a trademark. Another business recently who now wants a trademark protection for their brand. They want to, they've got ambitions to grow, but somebody unfortunately got in before them with the same or similar name in the same field that they're trading in, the same business field. So in terms of you looking at that yourselves, the IPO trademark database, our register is free to use and can help you understand your position better. We've also recently introduced a pre-apply tool. It's powered by artificial intelligence. It's also free, and that will also give you an idea of the likelihood that your trademark can be registered. So just to add, that if you're applying for or applied for an innovation voucher, then it will also be worth doing searches on your proposed product names, and to ensure as well that they can be registered and protected. And not more importantly, but importantly, that they also do not infringe somebody else's brand name for their products or services. And again, with that, with the searching element, just to remind you that the BIPC, the Business and IP Centre in Birmingham Library, can help you with the searching, and if you do identify issues, then can point you towards some free advice from an IP professional. So coming towards the end of my spell around firm IP foundations. So in terms of your assets, your key assets, including your brand, the products you're developing, the look and feel of those products, your marketing collateral, and so on, those assets, you need to put yourself on firm foundations with them. So firstly, test the idea, completing the business intelligence. Secondly, secure your innovation. So ensure that when you're talking to third parties, you're using non-disclosure agreements and collaboration agreements. And lastly, strengthen the shop window. Ensure that your marketing collateral, including your logo and your brand, are secure and belong to the business. So I don't want to frighten you. This might seem a lot. The key thing to remember here is that there's a great deal of free support, and I've highlighted that throughout to help you. So that includes, and this is about, really a lot of this stuff is about working on your business as well as in your business. So this is that support includes the Business and IP Centre, our own, the IPO's own digital tools and the resources I've talked about, and also importantly, going to the Growth Hub, and the Growth Hub advisors, partners and account managers can help you with a lot of this. And lastly, I'd just like to say, you don't have to believe me on all of this. I put a few video case studies on these slides, which you will be able to get to, and they highlight the importance of value of this. But also, these are businesses that made the most of their innovation and the funding they've received, and they've successfully grown their business through their key IP assets. And a couple of them which we've supported, Fire Angel and Jojo Maman Bebe, have done extremely well as a result of ensuring that they're looking after their IP assets. And I've also included on the slides access to the free templates and further information, as you saw. So just to mention about next week, I'll be talking a little bit more about how the Growth Hub account managers can help you with this and other best IP practice, for instance, around employee contracts, around licensing opportunities, resolving disputes, and how they might be able to take you, if you qualify, how they might be able to take you through an IP review. So I hope this helped. Thank you for your time this morning, and I'll stop sharing my screen. I'll put my mug back on the screen temporarily, and see if you have any questions. Let's see if I can do this.
Press the little.
How's that, Ben? Am I?
Perfect, thank you. And thank you very much for the presentation. It was very interesting and covered some really important topics. And we all know the importance of getting these things right when you've got your own innovation or product that you're looking to go to market. And these are very important points to be making. Paul, out of interest, and sorry to put you on the spot, I believe we also at the Growth Hub will be launching IP enabler process. Is there anything you could add on that?
So we've got a couple of products now which the Growth Hub is delivering. So the account managers themselves are able to deliver a full IP review, which is called Integrate. An Integrate review, which will go through the stuff I've talked about this morning and some of the other stuff I'm going to talk about next week. And the other product that we've got is a funding scheme called Enabler, as you mentioned, Ben, and that's around access to an IP professional, for instance, to take action to register a patent, apply for a patent, or register a trademark and so on. So that's a limited competitive fund. However, the account managers can refer businesses to that. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Paul. Sorry to have put you on the spot there, but I just thought it was a topical point to cover off. So yeah, if any of our attendees have any questions, by all means, please ask. We've had one, which I'll come to in a second. Just to let everybody know, we have your email addresses, so I will be emailing out copies of the presentations, and also we have a feedback form, which I just need to quickly grab, which we will send out to you and ask you to complete. Basically, it's a link, and it just asks if you want us to get in touch with you to go into further details about your business. It's 5 or 6 very quick questions, tick box, so it shouldn't take you more than a couple of minutes to complete. And we're very keen to speak to any of you that are operating within our geography, or if you're not, we can at least introduce you to some of our peers from across the country. So keep a lookout for that. That'll be coming out at some stage this afternoon from my good self. We have had a question from Mr. Paul Singh, and he asks, is there any funding available for acquisitions? Obviously, that's a very broad term, acquisitions, and the short answer would be yes. It would depend on what you're looking to acquire, the financial collateral that you've got to bring into the deal. But we do, through our access to finance channels, have contacts with seed funding, venture capital, angel investors, high street banks, challenger funds, and a whole host of potential options for raising capital for purchases. So, Paul, by all means, when you receive the feedback form, please, if you want to shed some more light on that, we can ensure that when the form is received back, I can get the right colleague of mine to reach out to you to discuss in further detail. No problem, Paul. I see a few people are typing, so I'll just, I won't do a song and dance interlude, I'll just wait patiently. Also, my colleague Ellie has very kindly shared an upcoming event that we've got next week for businesses based in Solihull, which is talking about additional local opportunities within that area. We also have 2 further events that go into more detail about intellectual property and good practice that are coming up in the next couple of weeks, which are advertised on our website, and I'll put a link into emails. I think Ellie might be adding that now. Also, as we've got a brief second here, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Laura and Paul for coming and talking today. It's a big deal for people talking on webinars, and obviously we're all very used to face-to-face delivery, so I thank them for their professionalism in preparing the presentations for us. We have a question from Cormac Chahal. Is there any partnerships working for innovations at the Beta Den in Malvern for use of the innovation vouchers, grants and support? Unfortunately, Malvern falls outside of our geographical remit, unfortunately, but I would not be surprised that for businesses in that area, if they were to reach out to their local growth hub, that there would be some funding around there. A lot of programs are replicated across the whole country, but each area will have its own way of delivering that project. But again, if you have a specific question, reach out to us, and I'm sure I can find someone who will be able to provide an answer for you from that patch. And thank you, Ellie, for sharing our events page. Thank you, Cormac. And Ellie has very kindly shared a repository of recorded webinars, which is on our YouTube channel. free to access at any time. Please spread the love and word of the Growth Hub. We are here to support business. We are free. We've got no agenda to push. We're not looking for any equity or any funding from you or money from you guys at a time is paid from government departments and the European Union. So please feel free to reach out to us, because we work with some fantastic organisations that can really make a difference with your business. So with no further questions, I'd like to bring this to a close. Thank you very much for attending today. Really appreciate you putting the time in, and look forward to helping you all in future. And a quick response to Claudia, there will be a cap to do with de minimis, but if Laura is still here, don't know if you would be able to answer that question. Can you see the question, Laura?
So for Claudia.
Yes.
So so it is one per business. But you might be interested in the Diverse Supply Chains project, because they can offer similar support. And if you haven't received, if you've received an innovation voucher, you can apply for one of those grants as well.
Fantastic, Laura. What a good answer. So yeah, we have alternative options for you. So yeah, Claudia, please reach out and get in touch, and we can facilitate an introduction to the Diverse Supply Chains programme for you to take the conversation further. Right, thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate the time, and look forward to working with you all in the near future. Okay, take care.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Paul.